begin? Lights on. Okay. Good evening, Vietnam. Live from LZ Bunker. This is Veterans Live Show. I'm your host, Ronnie Embers. I served on the 1st Airborne Division in December 1967 to December 1968. On this episode of Veterans Live Show, we will be talking NAM. One of our favorite M60 machine gunners, Sergeant John Fratangelo. We'll be discussing the questions and answers posted in the Vietnam Veterans Photo Club on Facebook. We'll get to our program in just a moment, but first I'd like to let you know that the show is brought to you by Fallen Never Forgotten. The Vietnam Memorial book makes a great gift for the Vietnam veteran. You can pick it up, a copy online by going to fallenneverforgotten.com. There's one memorial, usually the state memorial from each state, and lists all the guys who never came home in alphabetical order from each state. Don't forget that we will be doing a Q&A question and answer session after the show. So post your questions in the comment section below this video. All right, John, the first question is right up your alley. So here we go.
Ready?
Yeah, okay. Sound off. How many of you guys have humped and used the M60? And what did you think of it?
Yeah, I humped it. Okay, yeah, and I loved it. It was a great weapon. I think it's the best weapon for the squad to help protect the squad, and it had a great firepower. You know, it's a great weapon. Very seldom jammed.
I got a question about that. Did he? I can't remember. Did each squad didn't have a 60, did it?
Who?
Each squad didn't have a 60, did it?
Oh, you mean it's as far as the line companies?
Yeah.
I'm sure they did. Yeah. I mean,
okay, I got you. So one fire team didn't have one; the other fire team did.
Yeah. Well, okay. I was in the recon platoon, so we had the machine gun. Actually, there was two. There was two of us humping it. Okay, because we had two squads for the recon platoon.
Right.
And there was 5 of us on the gun jeeps when we were on the roads, but 2 of us were the main gunners when we went on patrol.
Well, I'll tell you what, I carried ammo. I carried a few belts. Everybody carried a few belts of that stuff.
Yeah, right. I had 2 ammo bearers. Yeah.
That baby was smoking, man.
Oh yeah.
Let me tell you, that got you out of a lot of trouble.
That was a great weapon, man. I'm telling you.
Okay. What do you got out there? Okay, guys. Clifford Jackson Angle. Hey, Clifford. Carried it for almost 3 months. Lost 3 assistants. That's not good. Other than some shrapnel in my leg, I was never even nicked. I was WIA medevac that day, and I promoted it and gave it to somebody else. Yep. Good for you, my man. Good to welcome home with that. But, wow, lost 3 assistants. I mean, I don't have to discuss it any further. All right. Next, Keith Keene. Started out as an assistant gunner, and then just before I got out of the boonies, I carried the pig. Once in a firefight, I saw a gunner take a towel and change out the barrel in the middle of it because it was melting down. Wow. Check that out.
Right.
No kidding. The pig, huh? Why did it get called the pig, though? What was your initiation of that?
I'm not sure.
Me neither. I never heard it got called the pig when I was in country.
Me either. I just called it my best friend.
There you go. Pig or no pig. Okay. Leslie Bogan Sr. Changed the buffer and add some more spring, and she spit death to the enemy faster. Love my 60s. Okay. What was the buffer?
I don't remember, but what I'm thinking he's talking about is the cover plate on the barrel, so you wouldn't get your hand burnt. It was plastic cover plate. I'm not sure if that's what he's talking about.
All right, maybe Leslie could put a little comment in later, or as soon as you can about that one. All right, what do you got next, Matt?
Yeah, he's probably referring to something else.
I did for 2 months, but I was a short shift compared to the corn-fed grunts in my platoon. So they took over the gun, and I went back to being a plain rifleman. Well, that's okay, man. We needed plain riflemen. Plenty of them. Sure. Okay. Mike Long, humped it for 4 months. Loved it like a brother. Check you out, man.
Right.
Humped the boonies. humped the 60. Yeah. Never humped one. Here we go. On my ship, we like all up We linked up old tracer. Much better for lighting up a flare top.
Yeah, but the thing with the machine gun tracer, there were every 7 bullets had a tracer, but if you went over 800 feet, the tracer's burnt out. So
Good. Yeah.
they were no good anymore after over 800 feet.
Yeah. Well, I guess that, you know, pretty hard to hit a target 800 feet, isn't it?
Well, not with a machine gun.
I mean,
No.
but maybe only in a rice paddy. You're not going to do it in a jungle. So,
Well,
right.
in the thick
I mean,
jungle, be tough. Yeah,
what good were tracers in the jungle anyway, right?
that's right. Yeah.
Or in the perimeter too, maybe in a perimeter of a fire base.
Well, they were good for the chopper gunners too, but the tracers because they
For sure.
they record your fire. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, if you're humping an LZ, it would help you.
Yeah, maybe we'll get a machine gunner from a chopper on here. Maybe we'll get one of those gunner boys up there on one of those Hueys. All right, what do you got next? Sound off. Roughly, how often would you say you got dry socks to put on those wet boots?
Well, I carry. You want me to answer, or you want to go, Ronnie?
Everybody's going to answer. Let's go.
Okay. I always carried extra. I always wore 2 socks. Okay, 2 pairs, on each foot, and I still do it to this day. Believe it or not, I wear it because it's so comfortable. And the jungle boots helped a lot. If you didn't have a dry pair of socks, them jungle boots dry quick, so they really helped a lot. And you didn't get dry socks to walk because you were always wet. If you weren't wet from the rain, you were wet from the sweat. And so dry socks was few and far between.
I hear you.
But
I got a story. We set up a perimeter to bring in a log bird. How about that for a term? Brought a log bird in for mail, and it was dinner time and ammo and replacements or whatever. So I got a pair of clean dry socks. So like a nitwit, I put them on right away.
Right.
Hello, you never stay where the chopper comes in at night. We moved our position to our night perimeter, and guess what? My brand new dry socks went through the rice paddies.
Oh, yeah.
They were dry for like 20 minutes.
I got another point I got to bring out. We used to carry our K rations in the socks. Do you remember doing that?
Oh, yeah. Tie them together over the shoulder.
So there you go. You had dry socks right there. You really got wet.
Yeah, but after a while, they get as long as pantyhose.
Yeah, they stretch. Right.
Oh, my goodness. Okay. Leon Tisdale. Very good. Dry what? You're right.
There you go.
There was a dry season, man. There was a dry season. So, Yeah,
but you're always walking through water.
Yeah.
Somewhere around, you're walking through water and you're sweating at night. It's.
Yeah, well, if you were in the rice paddies, okay, you had a problem. But in the jungle, in the dry season, hey, it was okay. But then again, you always cross a stream or something.
Oh, right. That's what I mean. We had to walk through water a lot.
Okay.
Sometimes we had to set a rope across to help us.
Yeah. All right. Vernon Tuttle carried a spare cross. Sorry, carried a spare pair cross.
On my steel pot.
On my steel pot, with the ends tucked into the combo band. Did I make that out right? Carried a spare pair
of socks.
Oh, I got it. Very good. Yeah, we're talking about socks.
Right.
Okay. Yes. Oh, that's a good idea. Very good. Very good. Steve Bossler, many times fog bound on top of a mountain in the monsoon season, dried our socks by burning C4 from our claymores. Well, kept one pair in the webbing of our helmets and one pair on our feet. We can't really say they were dry, just not soaking wet. Once on the trail, no dry socks. Oh my gosh, how many stories got about socks? Somebody could write a book about socks here.
Yeah.
All right, what do you got next? William A. Stull. I had 2 pairs. The ones in my wet boots, and the other pair under each armpit, drying. We would break, take a boot off, and massage the foot till wrinkles went away. Put on a dry sock. Remove the other boot and repeat. Wring out wet socks, put one under each armpit. About 2 or 3 steps, your feet were wet again.
There you
There's
go.
enough fungus sitting around my toes. Oh, I don't feel alone anymore.
I was just going to say that.
Oh my God, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Rick Oliver was in the South in the rice paddies. There you go. Always carried extra pair. Had to change every day. If feet stayed wet, you couldn't walk after 3 days. Yeah, I had all kinds of whatever. But I got something here for you. Imagine this. Look at this here. It's called grunt powder. I bought this in a Cracker Barrel in Wappinger Falls, New York, outside Poughkeepsie. And this will be for your I guess, hey, for your armpits, your feet, and your crotch, whatever. Powder. The Army never issued any powder, did they?
I didn't get any.
Anybody get any powder out there? All right, next question. That was a very good point. Sound off. Do you ever carry an M79? And what did you like and dislike about it? Mm-hmm.
Well, I didn't carry one, but we fired him.
Yeah. Okay. I can start this one. I did.
Yeah.
I did. I had an M79 and I got to really hate it because in a firefight, you're up the creek without a paddle, man.
That's right.
Not only is it dangerous. I mean, you had a 45, but again, how many rounds did that have, and how many rounds did the M79 have? And every time you shot the M79, if it was in a close fight in the firefight, it was like you got to take one out, open the barrel to get it, do a reload thing, and those seconds are precious.
And not only that, the trees.
I gave it up as soon as we got a new guy in there. Within a couple of weeks, I gave it up and was happy about it.
Right. Not only that, the trees would block it.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, but it served its purpose. You could take out a bunker, keep the enemy down.
If the situation, But another thing, the 45, right? I carried a 45. Machine guns are Russian 45. Yeah. It wasn't worth the crap.
No,
it was rusty. You couldn't use it.
Not only that, like how you going to use a 45 in a firefight? That's like
unless they're charging at you within 25 feet or something, then
even that, I mean, to shoot like this versus shooting like this, let me tell you, I'd rather have that baby with 20 rounds in there.
Absolutely.
Okay, next one. Thank you. Love this intensity here. Okay, did you ever carry a 79? What did you like or dislike? Robert Eames. Hope I'm pronouncing that right. Yes, I did, and thought it was better than throwing pineapples. More accurate, too. Yeah, that's for sure. Especially to take out a bunker or a enemy position or something with a machine gun. Yeah, that was cool. That would lob up. That could really keep their heads down in a way, too, What was the range on that? 300 meters, a couple hundred meters?
Oh, I would think so. Because we received incoming from. I say it in my book. I had done the last guard duty, and it was 5 o'clock in the morning, and we were guarding the bridge, and I was on the embankment, and it was drizzling, and I covered my machine gun up because it was raining, and then I started to fall asleep. Now we behind me was a big tank and two personnel carriers and my recon platoon. All right, because we were guarding them. Next thing I know, I'm falling asleep, and I hear thump, boom, right, thump, and I'm sitting up. I'm still half in the daze, and I turn around, and everybody's running behind the tank. Nobody's retaliating. Okay, so I said, "What's going on?"
Mortars?
No, it wasn't mortar because it wasn't devastating. It was an M79. Okay,
our M79.
Huh?
Alco.
Yes, no, it was the enemy firing in on us.
Okay.
So I turned around. I said, "What's going on?" I said, "Incoming!" Right? So I 3 times. Where? Nobody. I mean, you got a platoon. You got a tank with quad 50s on it, and then you got 2 personnel carrying. Nobody's firing back. This guy's just popping in on us, right? So I just uncovered, didn't even think twice, and I started firing. It was over a rice paddy, and then it was a jungle, right? And I started firing, grazing fire, right? As soon as I started firing, the guy stopped. And then everybody kicked in firing. I said, "What's the matter with you guys? What are you waiting for? This guy to kill you?" I don't get it. So anyway, that was that M79 story.
All right. Richard Sawicki, my weapon of choice, fired buckshot. Yeah, that's good. HE, smoke, gas, and carried a 45 and a 22 as a backup. That's a good. The buckshot I could deal with in a firefight, no problem. The HE round had its limits. Smoke was good, gas was good. And there you go. Again, at 45, and that's like the Wild West, you know?
Yeah, yeah,
These guys shooting AKs at you, and you going pop, pop, pop.
yeah. Not a very accurate weapon either. Not
No,
the only.
thank you. Thank you for that thing. All right, Michael Thomas, Michael W. Thomas. Sure enough, there you go. Like that picture, man. Check you out. That's a good one. Bob Turdy. Like blowing snipers out of the trees. This, like, yeah, it was single shot. You're right. Right. Did they have a round? All this. Did they have a round like an HE round that you could lob in and it would do burst in the air before it landed?
With the M79?
Yeah.
Not that I know of.
No,
I'm
yeah,
not, like I
I
said,
mean,
I've
I'm
been
just
carrying the
wondering.
M79.
You
Yeah,
know what I'm saying, though, right?
yeah,
Yeah,
yep,
that'd be quite effective if they
yeah.
could.
Like throwing a grenade, counting to 5 so it blows in the air.
Yeah, and let it explode. You know, but it would, I don't know, somehow sense the ground coming up and then.
Yeah, I never heard of that. No.
Okay, no problem. Next, here we go. Derek Pamp. I trained as 11 Bravo, but by the time I got into the field in I Corps, I was a Bar FO. That's a forward observer, I hope, right?
Yeah.
The guy suggested I shoot at a cactus a ways off with an M79. I hit the cactus and turned my thumb aside to avoid injury. They laughed. They were good men. Really? You hit the cactus? How far? Let me know how far away that was. You still have the scar on his right side of my left thumb from the sharp corner on the base of the front sight. Okay. Not good. Okay, next one. I like this interesting here.
Yeah.
M79. Oh, here we go. Here's a question. Sound off. Did you ever make it to Saigon? And where were you sent? Why were you sent there?
Well, I only made it to Saigon when I was told my cousin Tony was killed, and I had to bring him back home. And so I went through Saigon, never stopped in any place at all. They just I drove through Saigon and saw it, and I saw there was a lot of pretty girls dressed in pastel colored gowns, all from the
those
neck all the way down.
Those silk dresses, yeah.
Yeah, and a lot of them spoke French. I could hear it, but I never stopped. Huh?
Parlez-vous français?
Yeah, yeah. And they had the umbrellas, the fancy umbrellas, the colored ones,
yeah.
all colored pastel, and I said, wow, because all I seen it was jungle, when I was in there. I never really seen any towns or no beaches or anything like that. And
hey, Matt, do you have that picture of me in the Jeep in Saigon in front of the USO? Try to dig it up. In the meantime, I used to go to Saigon a lot. After my second wound, I got reassigned to division headquarters, 101st Airborne Division headquarters, rear in Benoit, and I was like CQ. And
that's it's on the bottom.
What?
There's a picture on the bottom.
Okay. Oh yeah, there it is. See on the bottom there? That's me sitting in my Jeep.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Okay, so as in Benoit was about 25 miles northeast of Saigon. So being CQ and people coming to the division headquarters, there was like dignitaries, politicians, colonels, generals, and stuff. I used to have to drive down into Tan Son Nhut or into Long Binh somewhere or into Saigon to the USO or something, and either drive them there or pick them up. And yeah, I was down there every once in a while. I was in Saigon. That was like that was about 4 months worth of tail end of my duty. And thing about that duty was that I was CQ. I'd be getting orders. I'd be getting information, incoming troops, outgoing troops, and I'd find out all the replacements that came in. And we'd be on the radio somehow with the brigade or division headquarters up north at Camp Eagle, and wasn't a happy job because the time was and the time off was, and it was 14 hours on, 58 hours off, believe it or not.
Wow.
But you get all the news about who was WIA, who was KIA, and all that crap. So sometimes you got to be careful what you pray for.
Mm-hmm.
So what do we got next here? Jay Gwynn Wathan Jr. fighting on Y Bridge and surrounding areas May 68. Where was the Y Bridge?
Never heard of it.
Okay. Maybe you could give us an idea. Derek Pamp again. Never got there. Never got anywhere other than the boonies. Oh, Saigon. Here you go. Oh, the Y Bridge was maybe by Saigon. A couple of forward fire bases, Da Nang and Cameron Bay. The upside of this was I never had anywhere to spend money.
Right. That's
So I
right.
saved it all up. When I got home, I had enough savings to buy a Jaguar XKE off the showroom floor. Amen, brother. There you go. That said, I'm still in Saigon every day. Yeah, I know what you mean, bro. That was one of the questions on our Vietnam Veterans Photo Club yesterday. I posed the question of, well, it was a statement. I goes, those who have been in combat, you're always there. Every day you think about it.
That's right.
Every day, something pops in your head about being in combat or
Absolutely.
in country. All right, next. Vietnam vet, many a times moving a 155 howitzer from Ben Cat and Dong Tam. I was a gunnery sergeant, 1st of the 84th Artillery, 9th Division, 2 tours. Get out of our way. Didn't slow down for nothing. I like to hear that. Good attitude, man.
The way to go.
There you go. Run the bastards over. All right, Ronald Gillis flew from Pentagon to Saigon April 64 to install secure voice in homes and offices of Westmoreland and Taylor. No kidding.
Wow.
Supposedly TDY got 2 months, ended up 8 months. Got over 2 weeks before discharge. Isn't that the way it goes?
Good for you, Ronald.
That's like the old story. Guys used to sign up to go somewhere, like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm signing up to go to Germany. Okay, you go to Germany for a month, then you find yourself in Vietnam.
Yeah.
They sent you to Germany.
That's right.
Oh my God, this is funny. Next question. What do we got here? Mike Verham went to Saigon several times. Does anyone remember going to the zoo? You know, I got a picture of the zoo outside, but that's it. And Harold Hank, sorry. Yes, I was stationed in Saigon January 11, 66 till April 67. Made it to the zoo one time. Very good. That's a good combination. Nice. So what was special about the zoo? Anything, any imported animals like from the United States in their zoos? Or just had indigenous kind of, I guess so. Here we go. Only time I was there is when I caught a plane to go home. Okay. Thank you, Eugene Tobias. Appreciate that. Next. Do you remember how much you were paid while in country? There you go. All right. What do you got here?
You want me to answer that?
Yeah, you go first, John.
Okay. I'm going to hold up something. This was the last pay stub that I had before I got wounded. And that you can actually, I'm going to show you something. First, I'm going to show you this. This was a calendar that I had, okay, with the X's on it, marking the months I had left. And also on the other side, I got the names and dates of whenever one of my buddies got killed. So I got their names on the back of here. And it's all in my book. You know, all this stuff is in my book.
Right.
And as far as the pay, it was different rates because if you were single, I think you got like about $90. And this is my last pay stub. Can you see it? I got to be very careful because it's really a mess, you know?
That's a stub.
Right. And I was paid $121 because I was married, but I wanted to bring a point out with the other paper. If you can see these red dots.
Yeah.
That's my blood. Okay. When I got wounded, and this was covered with blood also it was in a green pouch. Okay. So that's that. So that's what I made, $121 a month because I was married.
121.
Right.
Okay, I got one here. Let me pull this out of here. I got a whole bunch of them. I mean, like 5 or 10 of them. But I collected all kinds of stuff. There you go. So this is official Army paycheck stub. And on the back it says, on the bottom line is $415.01 a month. And it was E5 over 2, jump pay, and combat pay.
Okay.
And didn't you have an in-country pay, or was there some other kind of pay?
Just combat pay that I know of.
Combat pay, okay. Jump
And
pay we got.
I think there was overseas pay too.
Yeah, right. It was
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it came out to me, and when I got back to the States, I went to Fort Hamilton, Brooklyn for 6 months. It worked out to be $444 a month, $111 a week, if you know what I
Oh,
mean.
all right. Yeah.
So that
Wow.
wasn't too bad in 1968.
No, that was pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah. Anybody else out there remember how much they got? Nope, but I had enough saved up when I got home to buy a nice car.
All
And
right.
talking
Good.
about cars, I was looking at when I got out in 68, in 69 actually, the new Camaros were $2,300.
Right.
Anybody know what they go for now? $2,300, a Mustang and a Camaro.
Wow. Wow. 101st.
So Terry L. Groves, very good. There we go. Wow. 101st got jump pay, combat pay, and they furnished almost everything. Free ride home on a stretcher, still alive. Thank you, Terry, for sending it in here.
Very
Yeah,
good.
overseas pay, combat pay, jump pay, base pay, over two pay, whatever. Yeah, what? Okay, hazardous duty. Yeah, that was combat, right? David J. Hunt. I think hazard duty, whatever pay was 65 a month, and jump pay was about 55. Correct. I think I was making about 260, 280 a month as E500 too. Okay. Yeah. Terry Minor. I remember 210 a month and 65 combat pay altogether, but I was thinking about how much was enough to buy a dry spot. Very good, Terry. Next time, buy an umbrella. Clifford Jackson Engel. I do not, but I believe jumping and hazardous duty pay equal more than my base pay and no taxes. No, I think you were getting more pay than 165 and was it 65 and 55, right? I think it was it's 120 a month or 110 to 120, somewhere like that. So I think you were getting more than that. Well, what grade were you, and how much time in service did you have, Clifford? That's the other question. Okay, next. Describe the feeling of riding in a Huey. This is going to go crazy. How did you feel the first time you rode in one? Okay.
You want me to take that one or you want that?
Yeah, John, sure.
Okay. Well, the first time I rode in one, we were humping the bush, and my sergeant told him, "Come on, we're going back to camp." It's all right. So I figured we were going to walk. And all of a sudden, I see helicopters coming down. He said, "All right, let's get on." Meanwhile, I never rode on a chopper before. Right? So the first time.
Really? So you never rode in the States in training?
No, they never trained us on anything. So that was my first time.
Okay.
Okay. Now the first time in a combat, because we were recon, we used to hit the LZs first. Okay. So we sit, 7 of us, right, in one chopper. It was 4 on the bench, 3 on the floor. I had the machine gun, so I was on the left side with my gun hanging out the door, my leg hanging out the door, and we were ready to hit this LZ. They were bombing all night with the B-52s. This was Operation Billings, the first day of Operation Billings. Okay. Now before we landed, the chopper gunners opened up. And we didn't know what to expect. We thought we were getting incoming. So I was ready to fire back. And they said, no, this is the chopper comes. They put grazing fire to protect us, help cover fire for us, right? So that was my first in a combat situation. And that was kind of scary because we were hitting that LZ first. And if they were dug in, we were dead meat, so that was that.
Okay.
I
Anybody
rode on
else?
many choppers after that.
Well, I rode one at Fort Campbell, Kentucky. We trained for Vietnam 3 months before September, October, November. Half of September, October, November. Went over early December. So yeah, I had ridden in one before, but after a while, man, I mean, with all the combat assaults we did about 25, I think, something like that, right. And extractions. But the last time I rode one was the best time, and that was when I got wounded the second time and got out of the field, and it was great. It reminds me of that. I always remember that movie, Hamburger Hill, at the beginning when who's playing that? The animals. We got to get out of this place,
right?
And you see the guys' faces, and you see the intensity of their tension and the how would I say the what the hell's going to go
Exciting.
on, what's going on in the look, and it's like, yeah, combat riding a Huey in combat or on a little here and there journey was quite different than going into a LZ or a hot LZ. So
Right.
there you go. What
It's
do you got
scary.
next? David Ziegler. My first ride in one was in a hospital. Great. Was to a hospital ship, USS Repose. Very thankful for your dust guys and great care that I received. Absolutely correct. And that Repose was doing some job offshore too. But yeah, they were the medics, the pilots, and the we've had quite a few. We've had a couple of pilots on the show already, and they were combat
God bless
pilots.
them.
And one was a medevac pilot, one was a combat pilot. Yeah.
God bless them, man.
Amen. Garrett A. Taylor shot down first trip. Oh my goodness! To this day, I get wiggy every time the National Guard flies over my house. But we'll never forget that thump thump sound. Amen to that.
For sure.
Okay. Ray Chittister loved it. Rescued after being broke down in a three-quarter ton truck in the boonies with crypto and secure radio gear at dusk. Cobra and Huey to extract us. Wow, that's a good story. Okay, what do you got next? Derek Pamp. My infantry company was the reactionary force for the brigade, so we flew a lot. My memories involve watching the jungle scroll past my feet. We stangled out to the door, right? And the unique sound of a Huey still causes my heart to beat faster. Amen, Derek. Tell you that piece of machinery, I think, is the most important machine in any war ever.
Right.
Even then, more than an Abrams tank. I mean, because what it could do, you could take out the tank, and the tank can't take out the helicopter. And it could rescue you. It could get you mail. It could get you food. Get you a medevac. You could get you reinforcements. Get you reinforcements, or just get you home, or get you into the battle. Whatever.
I have another point I want to bring about the helicopters, right? If you don't mind.
Yeah.
All right. This one time we were heading out to an LZ, right? And the chopper flew at a little above treetop. Okay, so now when we're coming and he's flying treetop and he's making the turns, and I was at the door, I had to tell my buddy behind me, look, you better hold on. I'm falling out of this thing, man, because when you're high, you don't feel it. But when you're flying above the trees, I don't know if any of you guys out there witnessed this also, but I was really mad at that pilot because he just made them turns really sharp, and I was ready to go. And if my friend didn't hold me, I probably would have fell out of that.
I don't mean to laugh, but
No, but it's true.
Yeah. All right. John Doherty Wilkins. For me, at first, it was scary, but it was something that you will never forget and never lose that feeling. My song for that flight would be "Fly Like an Eagle" by the Steve Miller Band. Later in my duty time, I even got to fly front seat in a AH-1G Cobra. That was a trip. Check you out, man. If you guys can, put your unit and the time you were in country. That would be interesting. A lot of people would be interested, and we could relate more to the situation you're talking about, maybe, and where and when and what you did. Thank you. Next.
Here's the last one.
Jay Spencer Marion, 4,000 combat hours and 3 tours in Vietnam.
Wow.
And those blades still sing the sweetest sound I know. When I visited the wall in D.C., there was a Huey that flew over at the same time, and I lost it. Amen to that. So many memories, both good and not so good. But God brought me home nonetheless. Amen. He had plans for you,
That's
Marion.
right.
There you go, brother. Well, thank you so much. Anything else, Matt? Anything else we got to know? Here we go. We got the Q&A coming up. Let's go. Send them in.
Yeah, we'll wait a minute or so to send more questions in.
Okay. Hey. Oh, geez. John, check this out.
Wow. Where'd you get that, man? You put it together yourself?
Matt. Yeah, it's like the body. This is one piece. The tail is another piece.
Right.
And the rotor is another piece. And the machine guns are another piece.
Okay.
And the
Wow.
base that fell off.
And
Nice.
the base that fell off is over here.
Oh, okay.
Nice,
That's
right?
man.
Check that
Yeah,
baby
really
out.
good. Really nice.
Yeah. I want to hang it up, but it's kind of weird, you know? I mean, weird to hang it up. All right.
All right, we got comments.
All right, here we go. Comments and questions. Questions and comments. Let them have them. Let them rip. Nikki Fratangelo Barati. Hello.
daughter.
God bless. Thank you for your service. Okay, you at least got one fan out there. Okay. Thank you, Nikki. Facebook user M79 about 380 yards. Best was they added different rounds. Absolutely, yeah, that's right. That was one thing good about that, though. That for sure. You could shoot smoke with it. You could gas, and a shotgun shell was the best. Yeah, next. Mark George. Anyone serve in the first of the 508 to Fort Bragg? No, but I was at Fort Bragg in the 50 Deuce. Thank you, Mark. You'll have to get that. Not us. John was in the 1st Infantry Division. I was with the 101st. Served in the 82nd in the 320th Artillery in 67, but that's the closest I got to the 508th. Anybody else out there in Neverland? Dawn Frantangelo, here you go. How often
other
did you
daughter.
get mail in Vietnam? Oh,
Yes.
oh well, okay. Average? How about you guys?
Oh yeah.
How many times a week? Average.
I would say once a week.
I'd say twice.
Hopefully, you know.
Yeah.
You waited for it. Got
Yeah.
packages. You sent home for a package, you would get a package.
You know,
matter of fact, I got a funny story real fast for you.
Go ahead.
My buddy Eddie, who I trained with in AIT, we went over together. Luckily, he became my ammo bearer. But then he had a seizure, so he was out of the boonies. Right? He ended up writing Kool-Aid. Oh, right. So Kool-Aid sends him a whole box of Kool-Aid. So he gets 2 5-gallon jugs, makes Kool-Aid, and he was selling for only kidding around, for 5 cents a glass of Kool-Aid. So my other buddy, David, all right, he said, I'm going to write Cadillac. Maybe they'll have a Cadillac when I get home.
There you go.
I'll never forget the fight. Eddie's Kool-Aid stand, 5 cents.
Well, I'll tell you what. The one thing about the mail, the saddest part about the mail thing, you know, mail was great, big morale booster. But the worst part of it all was when mail call came, you know, the chopper would drop off the bag or whatever, and, you know, then the platoon sergeant would get it and call out the names of the guys. And sometimes the guy wasn't there anymore.
Right.
That was a tough part.
Yeah. Another one with my friend Eddie again. He had just gotten engaged the weekend before we went to Nam. All right. He gets a Dear John.
Yep.
Well, you want to see a guy go nuts because he can't do anything about it being 1,000 miles away. You know what I mean? That really hit. I felt so bad for him, man.
A lot of guys got those.
Man, it's terrible. Terrible. These women don't know what they do to a guy.
Yeah, not only that, like I said, we had my squad leader had gotten killed, and he had 2 kids that were born, twins, that he never got to see him, and the mail kept coming in. You know what I mean? Because she'd be writing every day.
Yes. Wow.
And he got in the chain, so couldn't get stopped, and you know.
Sad.
So next, Nikki, the rest of your life should be paid for. Amen. Not only that, they should give us that car we wanted back in. I wanted that GT 350 or
Right.
Camaro, whatever it was.
I'll settle for free taxes.
There you go. Thank you, Nikki. Good point. First contact in country. Who was your first contact?
My first contact was the first day of my operation.
Really?
Billings. The other machine gunner, who I became very close with, was killed.
How long were you in country?
I got there May, and the operation started June 12th. I was in there a month. I got the first day of the first operation. I got to witness my first dead GI.
We were in Cuchi, and we went on patrol, and a Huey got shot down, right, like kind of 50 meters off the trail, and smoke came out, blasted down, and then we had to go out and back out and try to get the bodies out
Yeah.
because they called us in, and it was not good. And the next day we went out to try to recover because everybody, you got to figure everybody was gone because it hit and exploded
Right.
and burned, and not good. Next, first contact.
This is the last one, then we're gonna wrap it.
All right, next one up, DKI Research. Thank you for your service and God bless you. Okay,
Thank
that's it.
Thank you, DK.
Thank you very much, John.
Okay.
See you next time down the road. Our
God
next
bless.
Q&A
Thank
will
you
be
so
good.
much for having me on.
No problem, brother. Okay,
Okay.
Matt, wrap it up through two here. Or you're going to make it the single screen. There you go. Well, thank you very much, everybody, for watching. Send in your topics to a Veterans Live Show. You could do it care of Vietnam Veterans Photo Club on Facebook, or you can message Matthew or myself about if you want to be on the show and any subject matters that you might want to talk about. Thank you very much for showing to the show. God bless you and welcome home.